In this video, we will show you how to replace your inside door handle on this Nissan Versa. This will be mounted to your front door. Let's get into it. Okay friend, let's get started on our job. The first thing we're going to do is remove this trim panel with the master window switch. To do that, we'll use a small plastic trim tool, make our way in between the door panel and this trim piece, and gently lift it up and out of place. Once you have that removed, continue on to the wiring harnesses along the back side. For this larger one, you'll find that you have a locking tab directly in the center. Squeeze that in, remove the wiring harness, and give it a quick inspection for corrosion. You can use a small screwdriver or just continue with your trim tool. That one looks fine. We'll continue on to the smaller wiring harness. Once again, there's a small locking tab in the center here. We'll press it in and remove this. Inspect the switch as well, and we can set this aside. With that out of the way, we can gain access to our two 10mm headed bolts in this area. Remove the pair. Inspect the mounting hardware as you continue, replace it as necessary. Now let's continue with our trim tool up along this area. This is just a small trim panel. You can gently pry this out of place. We are going to be reusing it, so don't break it. A quick inspection, and we can set this aside. Continue with your trim tool. We're going to make our way in between the door panel and the door itself. Slide this in here. Just gently start pulling this out of place. There we are. Now, once you have the bottom separated, we're going to lift this up and out of here. Remove the door panel. Now that we have the door panel out of the way, let's continue on to removing the inside door handle. To do that, we'll grab onto the vapor barrier and just gently start pulling this down and away. We don't need to fully remove it. Now you'll find that you have a 10mm headed bolt. Take hold of this. We're going to slide it towards the left to unlock it, and now we can pull it away. Now let's have a look at the back side of the handle. You'll find that you have two cables. The ends of the cables are different, so you don't have to worry about mixing them up. Now with that said, take hold of the cable and gently start pulling it out of the slot on the inside door handle. Now once you have that out of there, we'll continue on to the very end here. We'll just give it a little wiggle, and then we can slide this one down and out. Have a look at the cable, make sure it's not damaged in any way. That one looks fine. We'll continue on to the upper cable here. Once again, taking hold of it, we'll slide it out of the slot. Now we can take that one and slide it out of position as well, and a quick inspection. There it is, friends. All right, let's get ready for the installation of our brand new inside door handle. We'll start by looking at the backside here and reconnect our cables. As for this cable here, we want to make sure that this little tab slides up inside, and then we'll bring it into the proper groove. You can see it there. Now I'm going to swing it, and we'll latch in the cable along its bracketed area, right inside that slot. Press it in as far as you can. Listen for a click, give it a tug to make sure it's completely secured in place. We'll do the exact same thing to the other cable. Slide that in, listen for a click, give that a tug. Now before I turn this around, you remember that we did have to slide the handle to get it out of place, which means that we will have to slide it back into place. Looking along the backside, you'll find that you have 3 hooks. Those will fit into these 3 slots. As we bring this up, ensure that your cables are not twisted. You don't want it to look like that. We'll bring it up, align it with the slots, and then slide it towards the right into the locked position. Go ahead and give it a little wiggle just to ensure that those hooks are in the proper spot. Install your 10mm headed bolt. Double check to make sure that's nice and tight. Now we can continue on to the vapor barrier. Now we can reinstall our vapor barrier. When we're doing so, we want to make sure that we bring it behind the inside door handle. Slide it right in there. Now we'll bring this over, take hold of that wiring through the slot that's in the vapor barrier. Now we can put the vapor barrier into its original position. If for some reason the butyl tape doesn't stick, you can use other tape, just as long as it's on there. Now we can get ready to install the door panel. Before you do so, we need to pay attention to all of the mounting holes that make their way around the door. You might find that you still have some of your push clips that should be attached to the door panel in the door itself. If that's the case, continue on with a trim tool and pop those out of place. That's what it looks like right there. We'll just double check all the way around the door. Now let's have a look at the inside of the door panel. We want to ensure that all of the push clips are in place. If any of them are missing, you want to make sure that you replace them as necessary. Just make our way all the way around. This looks good. Let's take the door panel and put it in place on the door. When you do so, you need to come up nice and high so the door panel can make its way over this ridge. Once it's up there, go ahead and slide it down and then press it in so all those push clips make their way into their corresponding hole. Double check along each side. Let's just confirm that it's completely met up against the door. We'll take hold of that wiring harness, bring up through this forward area here. We can rest that aside. We'll continue on with our two 10mm headed mounting bolts, one here and one right there. Let's install the window switch. Take this and put it in position. We'll press it down, confirm it's secured. Let's get this last trim piece on here. Just put it in the proper position and press it in. Should hear a few clicks from that. Give it a wiggle to make sure it's completely secured all the way around. Okay friend, we finished installing our inside door handle. At this point, you want to make sure that you test its functionality. Aside from that, thanks for watching.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.